Okay, we are going to get started with the October Club Q, and this one is called Sunflower Gnome. Some bright, fun fall colors. You can use lots of different powder puff chalking inks on here. This one actually suggests Fields of Green, Saffron, Manzanita, and Mango Mai Tai. So lots of kind of orangey, red, green. You can also use like amaretto or mocha mama if you want to make it look a little more antique. But any of the oranges, any of the deeper red colors would look really nice with this, so you just choose. There are a couple diagrams, so we're going to get the cutting out of the way first. One thing that I want to mention, if you are punching out your die cuts, do not get rid of these pieces. Your piece like this comes out of the inside of that. We are going to use almost every piece of that. So hang on to this because these are actually going to be your background pages. If you've thrown it away, dig it out of the garbage can because we're going to use those for backgrounds. If you have thrown them away and they're damaged and you can't use them, really just any sort of cardstock behind there will be fine. So if you have something in your stash at home, but a lot of times we use the outside frame as your background so that we don't waste any paper. And we are going to get started. Oh, I didn't mention, this line is called the Cherry Wood, and it has a little bit of the Melody line and some of the Seascape, but it's mostly cherry wood. So if you like this paper, this new paper pack is on our website right now, so you can check that out. Okay, we are going to get started with the cutting diagram. So you have 3 12 by 12 papers and we're going to cut them all the same way so that you have your strips. Okay, I'm actually going to lay these out here. We're going to work on both of those together. Try and fit all of that in there. Just want to make sure you can see it. Okay. And actually, you know, I think before I do the cutting, I usually do all the cutting first, but I'm going to go ahead and get this background on. And I'm going to use Mango Mai Tai on this. So chalk things up as you go. Whatever color it is you choose. Or don't chalk at all, that's fine too. I like to just add a little extra color. You can also, once these are glued down, chalk the edge of the orange paper also once it has a sturdier piece of paper on it. And I'm going to actually use Barely Art Glue, and I'm just going to make a few dots. Just remember not to go all the way out to the edge because part of that will show. This just gets centered right on top of there. With about 1/4 of an inch showing all the way around. Do the same here, and then we have our background ready to go. And just stay close to this inside piece that's cut out so your glue doesn't show around the outside. Chop this up real fast. My poor Mango Mai Tai needs replaced. It's fallen apart after a couple years. I use this one a lot. It matches lots of our paper lines. And again, center. Okay, so now that we have our backgrounds together, oh, and I want to show you too real quick, once you have this together, you can pick it up and chalk the whole thing if you want. It makes it easier to put some color on the outside when it's a little sturdier with that background. I'm going to grab my diagram, set it here, and I think they are all three exactly the same. So if you have, I'm going to grab the 3 papers that you need here. There is a blue dot. There's a colorful music note, and there is a kind of a wood grain stripe. So all 3 of those we are going to cut, and I'm actually going to cut these 2 at the same time to save me time. We need to cut off the edge here. Let me make sure I got this right. 1 3/4. So off the edge, we'll cut 1 3/4. And I'm doing 2 at the same time. You don't have to. Oh, that bug. So 1 3/4 off the edge. Once you get that off of there, then you want to turn it. And after you watch this the first time, you can pause it and do all of them. And then you want 1 1/2 strips. So you turn it, get this lined up to 1 1/2. Push it forward, do another 1 1/2. And I always push from the bottom up so that this doesn't, the paper doesn't move. It has this to push up against. I don't know if your trimmer has that, but I found that to be a helpful trick. So you do want to do 1 1/2 all the way down your paper. And if it's not exact, don't even worry about it, because most of this actually gets covered with photos and stuff like that. Oh, my hands are really inky today. I use a lot of ink. We were designing new kits today, which is always fun. I have a feeling one of these days my brain is going to run out of ideas. Today, I thought today was going to be one of those days. Some days it's a struggle. Something always works out though. You also, it doesn't really matter what direction your notes are going and stuff like that, because really it's all covered up. Okay, so we have those cut. Grab your, so don't get these mixed into there. This is the 12-inch strip that you cut off. You can use those for something else, but I would put those out of your way. Now your striped wood grain paper, we want to cut 1 3/4 off. Get rid of that piece and then turn it and 1 1/2 inches. Same as that other paper. I just love the fall colors. I probably say that when it's summertime too, and love the bright colors, but it's a nice little change to do some of these kind of fall colors with kind of an antique look to it. Okay, let's get that out of the way. And I think that is all the cutting. I'm gonna make sure here. Oh, actually, no. I lied. We have two pieces just like this. And the, let's see, the orange paper is, I want to get these measurements right for you. It's a 4x12, so really we just want two 4x6s, so you just put this in at 6 inches. And trim. You have two 4x6s. The white piece is a 4.5 by 12, and we want to cut it into 4.5 by 6.5. We'll start there. So it's already 4.5 this way, so we want to do 6.5 this way. And set that aside. And then you have this leftover piece that is 4.5 by 5.5. Okay, so I just want to check we were done with all the cutting. I'm going to get this trimmer out of the way. The only other thing that you really need to cut is your little, and you could just fussy cut these, just cut them out with scissors. Your little banners and your journaling piece. Okay, so what we're going to do, one of each of these goes on the page. And it's up to you. You can put it either way. It's not going to make any difference. I'm going to go ahead and adhere this down to your page. And then we'll start layering our strips on there. Whoops. This is what we say, never throw anything away until the end, because this is another piece that might look like garbage or scrap, but it is actually a piece we use. Okay, and from there, and as I said, just chalk things up as you go. This one, you may not need to chalk much because you don't see a whole lot of it. From there, we are just layering our strips. So I started on the left here with a striped. And I'm actually just going to tack these down as we go. And it just lines up there. And again, if these are off a little bit, not going to make much difference because you won't be able to tell behind everything. And what I do is I just line up the top, so just a little bit of it showing, a little less than 1/4 inch. And these are going to just get layered on there. And you can decide which order you want to put them in. See, this one's a little bit off, and it's not going to matter because you won't really see it. But what I did was stripe, music note, dot, stripe, music note, dot. I'm going to go ahead and do that all the way across here. Some of these papers I didn't think were going to really go together, but once you kind of layer it like this, It's kind of fun. And I'm on the dot. Sometimes that's the best. Sometimes that's stuff that you wouldn't think go together. I know when we do our live events, we do our Facebook live events once a quarter. And it's so fun because we always ask during our live classes what color ink people are using. And I love to hear that some people use a color that you would never even think of to try on certain papers. And it looks beautiful. So it's fun to try different colors, mix it up a little bit. Okay, we got the first page. And then the second page you do just the same. And I'm actually going to put it right on here. Makes it go a little bit faster. Because you know this, all the spots are going to be covered up. Oops, I got a little close to the edge on those. Don't go all the way to the edge. I'm just going to layer these on. My son just came in to say hi. Say hi, Quentin.
Hi.
I think he's tired, ready to go to bed. He likes to make his own little videos. He loves to bake. So he makes his own little baking videos. Pretty fun. Someday I'll talk him into doing these videos for me. Oops, I'm putting more tape on and I forgot that I already have it on here. It goes way faster. I already have it on. There we go. And you have some left over to use for a whole nother page if you want. Okay, there's your background. Fun, simple way to add a bunch of different colors to the background of your paper. All right, the next thing we are going to do, this is another piece that I wanted to show you. Once you punch this out, we are going to use this piece. So don't throw that one away. This is your pumpkin. Don't throw this one away because we're going to use that also. And I lied. There is one more cutting diagram and it's on the other side. So we had all of these. So we do have one more cutting diagram on the other side that we'll do in just a minute here. I'm going to get these all lined up. So this one, you actually have your white piece. This is for page 2. And you can go ahead and glue these down. And again, if you want to, you can chalk these up a little bit. I actually left them white, I think, in the sample. But you only want adhesive on the inside here because you don't want the glue to show. This one. And then the pieces that go on top of here, we have not cut out yet. I'm going to get all my little pieces to put together. So here are your little sunflowers tops. I'm going to chop those up just a little bit. We'll get all these little pieces put together and then we'll go back and trim that other one up. So if you use this Barely Art glue, you just need a few dots here and there and it will stay glue. It's enough glue to keep it so that it stays on there. It's permanent enough, I guess is what I was trying to say. I might be a little tired too, forgetting my words. Okay. Your pumpkin. This guy goes behind your little pumpkin gnome. Let's get this guy out of here. Go ahead and glue that on. And if I'm getting ahead of you, just go ahead and hit pause. Get caught up. That's the beauty of having a video. Okay, and your gnome, we actually punched out. You don't have to do this, but we took this out, chalked it up a little bit, and then we'll glue it right back in there. It just adds a little bit to it. Get your pieces for your gnome. We got a hat piece. Put a little dot on the back. Get your hat put on. Okay, and your sunflower, this round dot goes right behind here. Put a little glue in the middle there. And you have a sunflower. And let me see if I can show you the easiest way to see where this fits. Oh my gosh, guessed it on the first time. So there's one that's pretty curved right here. If you find that one that's pretty curved, that goes on the right. And you may just have to turn it until it works. I'm gonna chalk this up just a little bit, give it a little bit of orange. This is Mango Mai Tai that I'm using. And I'm going to put some adhesive right in the middle here. And then we'll just turn it and turn it and turn it until we find how it matches. There we go. Probably should have put a little more orange on there. Okay, and when you go to glue this down, I would just put a little adhesive here so that you can, on this outside edge, so that you can still, I'm gonna move this guy out of the way, slide pictures in when you're ready. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this on, but then you can still slide pictures in behind here. I think I'm doing page 1 and page 2. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is page 2. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You can put it in your book however you want. This is how it is on the directions. These guys goes over here. And we can go ahead. I'm going to put a little glue here. And then this just gets attached behind here. going to cut the papers that go on top of this. And you just adjust it however it works for your photos. And I used a little green in the photo. You can do the ends of this with maybe like fields of green or malachite is a good one. Okay, with your little strip of orange, this is going to go across the bottom here to hang your banners on. So what I'm going to do, I actually fold these corners just barely so they touch. Take my scissors, trim back towards my hand, and then you have a nice little dove's tail. Don't crease it. That gets glued down. Trying to get it straight here. And then this guy sits right on top of that. I'm only going to put glue kind of down here around where the pumpkin is, because then that'll go right over your photo. And if you want to make these pumpkins and this a little brighter, you can use whichever red you chose. Ruby is a really nice bright red. If you use just a little bit of that, it really brightens it up on that orange paper. Okay, so we are to the point where we're basically just need these pieces from this last one that we need to cut. And you may have already done that before you even started the video. Some people are very prepared. I, however, was not. Okay, so what we are going to do, I'm going to set this here so we can see. We are going to actually cut at 6 inches. So I'm going to put this in at 6 inches. And we're going to cut out that 6-inch piece first, so we turn it this way and do 4. So you have your 4 by 6. We're going to move it down. And if you want this out of certain spots in the paper, that's fine too. Most of it's going to be covered with a photo, so I'm actually just going to move mine down to, so this all needs to be 5.5. I'm going to turn it this way. Excuse me. Turn it this way and do 5.5. I'm going to turn it one more time, and I'm going to do 3.5. Push it down and do 3.5 again. You have a little piece left over you can get rid of, and then 3.5 by 5.5. And out of this piece that's left, you need one more 3.5 by 4.5. So you can choose whether you want the blues or the oranges. And I'm going to do, should I do the orange? Okay, so I'm going to cut at 3.5. So you have a nice piece to use for something else on a different project. And then I'm going to turn it and I'm going to do 5.5. So you have 2 3.5 by 5.5. Is that right? Oh, no, I looked at the wrong one. So this one's 4.5. So I didn't cut too much off, but I need to make it 3.5 by 4.5. So that last one you just cut, that's 3.5 by 4.5. Okay, now I promise we are done with your trimmer. And then these, you just layer on to the one that it fits on. So your 4x6. Your 3.5 by 5.5. And your 3.5 by 4.5. And then you just adjust these to wherever you want them for your photos. Your little banners go down here. Just glue a button to the top of each one of those. This, we have a journaling piece that just tucks in behind here. You only use a little piece of it for here, just like for maybe a date to put on there. But you could trim this and also add some over here. You can add this entire thing over here if you want instead. If you have more writing to do, it's just totally up to you. We just stuck a little piece in up there because I like to just kind of put a date. But if you need more space, you can use this entire thing. The only thing you have left to do is to add your buttons. And I want to show you a little trick here with the buttons before, with these wood buttons. I'm actually going to do mine in green. I think I used orange or red in the picture, but I'm going to do these ones in green. So these have like a little ledge on them. I just flip them over, and you don't want to press hard. You just lightly rub them across whatever color it is you want to make it, and it makes that ring. If you press hard, it goes all the way into the middle, and it starts to kind of color the middle. But if you want just that ring, and it goes on like that. And there you have October Club Q. Hope you enjoyed it. Again, this is the cherry wood paper line. So if you like this line, it's great for fall pictures. And it actually comes with a couple more music note papers as well. So if you need something for music, those are kind of fun in there. We hope you enjoyed October, and we appreciate you being a Club Q member, and we will see you next time.